Let's jump right into empty Blender file, and first I want to block out the robot arm. So let's just select everything, press X and delete. And now let's press Shift A and we'll add a circle here. Now we can tab into the edit mode, press F to fill and E to extrude. So we have some base. Now I will hold Shift S and snap cursor to select it. Now tab out and we'll create a new object. Let's press Shift A and let's add a plane. Now tab into the edit mode and press S and scale it down like this. Now let's go for edge select by pressing 2. Select these two edges by holding Shift and press E then Z to extrude, just like that. Now we can switch back to the vertex select by pressing 1 and hit Ctrl Shift then B to enable vertex bevel, just like this. Now press A, Alt E and choose extrude faces along normals and just extrude it like this, and additionally press S to enable even scaling, something like that. And now hold Shift S and snap cursor to select it. So we'll be moving the cursor as we go along the hand structure. So now tab out and we'll create a new object. So let's press Shift A and let's add a cube. Now we can press tab to go into the edit mode, press S and scale it down, just like this, and then S then Y to scale on the Y axis. And now go for face select by pressing 3, select this face and press G then Z and move it up. Like this. And let's zoom out a little bit and we can press G then Z again and move it up all the way. And now we can basically just press Ctrl R to create these loops and go for face select by pressing 3, select these faces by holding Shift and Alt E and extrude faces along normals again. So we have something like this in place. Now select these two faces on the sides and hold Shift S and snap cursor to select it, so we have it in the middle there. Tab out and let's press Shift A and let's add another plane. Now tab into the edit mode, and this is very important so you don't move it in the object mode. Let's press G then Z and move it up so the origin point stayed here in the middle. You can see the orange dot there. So let's press S to scale it down, and same as before we'll press 2 for edge select, select these two edges and press E then Z and extrude them like this. And additionally we can press 1 and Ctrl Shift B to do that bevel. Now press A to select all and Alt E and extrude along normals. Let's go inside and press S for even scaling, like this. Now we can go for face select by pressing 3, select this top face and press E. So we have like a second part of the hand. And now we can create 2 loop cuts right here using Ctrl R and increase the number of cuts with the mouse wheel. Now press 3 for face select, press E and extrude. Now let's select these two faces on the sides again and we'll hold Shift S and snap cursor to select it. Now tab out and let's press Shift A and another plane. And you probably know what's gonna happen here. So let's press G then Z, and again be careful not to do this in the object mode. Now 2 for edge select, select these two edges, E then Z and extrude this down, and we can press 1 and Ctrl Shift B to create the bevel like this. Now press A to select all and Alt E and extrude along normals like this, and enable even scaling with S. And now 3 for face select and do a small extrusion here. Now Shift S and snap the cursor and tab out, and now we'll press Shift A and create a circle here. Tab into the edit mode, press S and scale it down, press F to fill and E to extrude. Now Shift S and snap again, tab out, let's press Shift A, add a plane, tab in, let's make it smaller, press E to extrude, and now press S then Y to scale it up, and E again for another extrusion. And one last snap holding Shift S and tab out, let's press Shift A and another plane, tab into the edit mode, press S to scale it down and E to extrude. Now press 2 for edge select, select this edge right here and press G twice to enable edge slide and slide it like this. Now we can tab out, press G then Y and move it to the side. And in the modifiers panel let's add mirror modifier and let's pick this object as a center and switch from X to Y. So now if you move this on the Y axis, it just moves. So basically that's everything we'll need, and we can update some details here, like this is too sharp probably, so let's press Ctrl B to bevel this, and here as well, so it actually can move there. And I'm not being too precise, you know, with the technicalities and stuff. That's for you to figure out and decide when you're actually doing something serious. I just wanted to show you the system, how I would approach a model like this. So we can now tab out and let's parent things. So select this object here, hold shift and parent it to the underlying base. And we'll do like this with all of these object pairs. So they're parented in chain. Control P and parent object. So now we are able to just select this, press R, X and 90 to rotate these 90 degrees. And this one here as well. So let's press R, then X and 90 degrees. So we have something like this in place. We can make this a little bit smaller and this probably as well. Just like that. And now let's create some hydraulics. I'll go right here into the edit mode and just snap the cursor right here. And that's just because it's easier to place it like this. Tab out and let's press Shift A and we'll add a plane. Tab in, press S to scale it down and R, X 90 degrees to rotate. Tab out and press G then Z, move it up tiny bit. Now tab in. And now let's press A to select all, S then X to scale it on X axis and press G then X to move it aside like this. And E to extrude, and of course we can select these edges and bevel them a little bit. Now let's go to the modifiers tab and add a mirror modifier, and this will basically just hold the hydraulics piston. And I would really like to make this arm longer, so let's select this one here, press G then Z, move it up. And now let's select this, tab into the edit mode, and I'll enable X-ray view, select all of these edges. Look from the side by pressing 3 on a numpad, press G then Z and move it up. Just like that. Okay, I think this will really work. Now let's select this one here, hold Shift S and snap cursor to select it. Now let's press Shift A and let's add a cylinder. Tab into the edit mode and let's make it smaller like this. 3 for face select, select this top face, press G then Z and move it up. You know, up until half of the arm, I would say, maybe a little bit higher. Now tab out and press G then Y and move it outside. We can help ourselves by looking from the side. So it kind of looks like this, maybe even more. Okay, I really like this. And now let's select this object here and press Shift D and move it up right there. Press R, then 90 degrees and minus, so we go to the other direction. And let's move it somewhere here. Now hold Shift S and cursor to select it again. Let's press Shift A and we'll add another circle. Tab into the edit mode, let's make this smaller, and we can help ourselves by enabling X-ray again. So something like this, and tab out, press G then Z and move it right here. Now we can tab in, select the bottom and press G then Z and move it here. So it goes inside.
मैं आज आपको 2 हैबिट देके जाता हूं, मतलब ये आज जो